Hello, Antioch Community High School. My name is Caleb Zaborski, and welcome back to your weekly weather forecast number 24. Let's hop right into next week. So, for the week of February 24th, we're going to see that compared to last week, where we had almost negative temperatures every single day, much warmer, much more comfortable, kind of getting into that early spring-like feel, which is pretty coincidental with the fact that March 1st, Saturday, is the start of spring. At least for when meteorologists, kind of say it's spring. Obviously, you can still get really cold temperatures, as I might touch on later. What's up right Monday, 24th, men's basketball regionals. For that, a high of high 30s and a low of high 20s. So very nice temperatures. And we keep that same trend into Tuesday. Once again, still men's basketball regionals going on. Also the start of our Storyteller series for this week. And then we also have women's basketball sectionals going on. And you're going to see that kind of goes for Wednesday and Thursday as well. For Wednesday, similar temperatures to all those days with high 30s. And then also for the low 30s. Once again, same for Thursday, high of high 30s, low of low 30s. Then get a little bit of a change on Friday. For that, we have state wrestling, men's basketball, regionals, and then there's a quad track meet. And for that, a high of low 30s and a low of low 20s, just a little bit colder. But it warms back up. Saturday, state wrestling for the women. Jazz in the Meadows, which is a jazz competition for the jazz band. And then men's varsity track going on. For that, a high of high 30s and a low of low 20s. And that is when we start observing this as spring. We would call it spring, even if temperatures do not match it. But we're going to see it will begin to not match on Sunday, where we have a high of mid-20s and a low around in the teens. And from what I was looking at, even though that this week will be super comfortable, some models have been picking up that we might get another Arctic air blast somehow around early March to kind of kick off March, which I really don't want. We've been dealing with all this cold for quite a while. And we're going to get teased with all this nice early spring-like temperatures for it possibly just to come back to, here's negative temperatures, because of course. But let's hop right into the temperature outlook. You're going to see, at least for this, we are expected to be above average, which is super nice. But going on, situation, once again, near normal. I know obviously we've been dealing with these freak snow events where we get like 4 inches of snow randomly on some Friday. But overall, as we're going to see in the next slide, this is 90-day period of precipitation and kind of the deviation of it. And we're going to see, we're right up, this is Illinois, right up there where we are in the somewhat golden color, golden brown. That's 25 to 50% less than our average of precipitation. And so even though we've had these freak snow events, get a ton of snow in this short week span, overall for most of winter, we've not been getting much, which also is a surprise compared to the winter outlooks that that NOAA put out, because obviously NOAA forecasts with kind of it's called the UNESCO cycle. I forgot what the actual name for it is, but La Nina and El Nino. Right now we're in La Nina, expected to continue, and that usually means colder and wetter, kind of winters for us. And we've had these blasts of cold air, but overall it's been pretty mild temperature wise. And then obviously in precipitation, we've gotten so little snow compared to kind of what we're used to with the northern Illinois winters. Usually you get the random lake snow event, but no, not much, which is actually pretty surprising. And that probably won't change, so we could see some drought come on later. Obviously once winter ends and we get into kind of actual spring, we could see some droughts. But going on, kind of to close out this forecast, kind of doing more solar analysis in this. This is the Solar Dynamics Observatory. It kind of showed more of that last week, but this is the sunspot tracker that they have. This was as of February 20th, 2025. And we're see we have all these spots, and they're kind of color coordinated. The green ones are just called beta spots, so they're not really anything special. They kind of just exist. They're not anything complex, and the complex sunspots create all of our intense solar flares. But the two other ones, right a little bit south of the center median, these ones are called beta gamma. Recently, even before this happened, just before I started recording, 3998 became a delta spot. The classification for that is beta gamma, which is the orange, but then beta gamma delta is these red ones, which is not shown, but basically the delta spots, those create, your very intense flares. Obviously, I mean, we've had delta spots that just don't do anything, but on average, those spots will have chances to produce larger flares with a higher chance for a coronal mass ejection. So overall, just keep an eye on those two spots. Obviously, you look on the eastern side, we have some spots kind of leaving, but on the western side, we don't really see much coming in, which could mean that we do see a lull in solar activity. Give it about a week or so. Probably when you're seeing this forecast, we might have a coronal hole, which gives, I kind of covered that last week, with kind of like the fast speed of plasma that creates weak geomagnetic storm conditions. But overall, should not expect anything from the sun in the future. But that does it for your weekly weather forecast number 24.